content.
The boys are back. That's right, Florida Man Sports is here with another exciting episode. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. This is Florida Man Sports.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to Florida Man Football.
Yeah, welcome back to Florida Man Football. Don't steal my thunder, sir. Don't steal my thunder, sir.
Is it your turn?
Yes, it is my turn.
Oh, my bad.
Jackass. You're like,
my bad.
Steal my thunder.
Are we doing it? We keep
No, we'll keep it going.
we keep it alive. Keep it alive. My bad.
Guys, welcome. I know that's we're about a day late. You know,
this is Thursday morning, 8 a.m.
Yes,
right now. We are Thursday, 8 a.m.
We're a day late because normally we would like to go. We set you up by 8 a.m. Wednesday,
and now this is Thursday at 8 a.m. right here with an adult beverage.
How do Florida men start their morning? With Budweiser and Corona. So it's
quick promo.
Good.
Sorry, I ran out of beer, Dad. Taking yours. I'll buy you some back.
It's all good. But we're bringing it live to you guys on Thursday morning here. We're going to recap a little bit of our Florida teams what happened last week.
Yes.
And mainly give you our picks for this
because it is
week.
Thursday. Yes.
Now we had a good week. I mean, ultimately, the NFL always tries to do some funny business. I ended up going 11-4 this past particular week. A good week. Monday Night Football killed me. Monday Night Football ultimately just killed me with both. But
pretty sure it was 10-5. But okay.
100% of what? Okay, you want to go ahead and break them down? No. I don't want
today's word of the day. It's called rage bait.
No, you want to besmirch my picks because I
you got the 11.
Because you want to
got the 11. No.
You go 5-9, and you get mad at me for going 11.
Don't be bitter. Be better. It's okay. You got it. Good
job. I lost Thursday Night Football. That kind of threw me off there. Only lost one Sunday night game. That's the Cowboys Carolina. That game, the Cowboys let me down. They let us down. And then because the NFL always wants to throw in like a monkey wrench, I lost both Monday Night Football games here, bringing me to a grand total of 11-4, but still
10-6.
So went ahead and handled my business, and hopefully you guys still. When are you guys going to learn? Do not bet on the NFL these days. Do not.
No. Disclaimer. I think that we do these picks. I think more for anything, Johnny, is that we enjoy the game and the flow of the game, and we're competitive people at heart. We both played sports all our lives, and so that's why we always want to talk about the score, the game flow, and all that. But yes, you shouldn't really be throwing all kinds of money like that. I don't think it's so. Anyways,
Lewis, I'm sorry.
Not just him. We all get the little itch, but just remember, at the end of the day, when all the NFL games are done, Johnny, the next day, what happens? We get all the tapes and all the videos from everyone commenting on how fake the NFL is. So don't gamble.
Well, we know it was a big mistake when everything kind of went legal, and then we see the advertising in sports in general. It's the NFL, it's in sports. We know that it's a recipe for disaster, and that's what we're dealing with. But we'll roll with it the best we can. But let's move on, Cris. Our Florida team starting with Jacksonville. Jacksonville went ahead and the week before an impressive win. They won super ugly, but an impressive win against Kansas City. Then we're expecting big things this week up against Seattle, but they went ahead and didn't come through. I picked Seattle to win this game here. Any takeaways from this particular game?
Yeah, well, you called Seattle to win, and I think we both have had back-to-back weeks here at Florida Man Football where we literally said we hope to be wrong, remember? And one time we were, and then last week we weren't. Unfortunately, the Seahawks won. And my takeaway for this game is short and sweet, folks, especially because it's Thursday night football coming up here. It's this, Johnny. We've had now Trevor Lawrence as a Jaguar. I know, 3 different coaches. I get all that, but we've had him now for about 5 years. And Sam Darnold looks like he's been with the Seahawks for 5 years when you watch the game. And that just tells you the tell of the tape. That's all I really have to say about this game. I'm just concerned at this point that Trevor Lawrence hasn't gotten it. And it's not all his fault. I've watched the tape. I watched the games. But when you're watching this team play, the defense is holding up their end. It's the offense that lacks. The first quarter, if you watch that game, you get just a game of chess. You get no action from Trevor Lawrence. And then with like a minute left in the first quarter, you get an easy touchdown. It breaks your head a little bit. And so I'm a little concerned that this offense is taking so long to launch, Johnny. And kudos to the Seahawks because, like I said, Sam Darnold looks like he's been there for like 4 or 5 years now. And, like you said, right, this week we'll do the picture in a little bit, but it doesn't get better for the Jaguars. The schedule just gets tougher, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they went ahead and pulled off an impressive victory, like I said before. But really, it's like, okay, I keep saying impressive victory, but we saw the game. That defense won that game. Trevor Lawrence collapsed and had the ugliest game-winning touchdown in the history of the NFL, but still it happened. He did it. But I'm not impressed.
No.
I don't have confidence in Trevor Lawrence, just like you alluded to. The same way we talked a lot about with Tua, and it's kind of like how you've been falling off of him. But for me, and seeing it with Trevor Lawrence, I'm like, dude, you're not showing me enough. You're not showing me that you're the guy. They're winning in spite of you, not because of you.
Oh, look at you quoting me. Look quoting your boy over here, your counterpart. So cute.
Anyway, shut the hell up.
Bottom line,
thinking you're Bill Shakespeare now.
Bottom line is 12 points in 2025 isn't going to get it done. Jacksonville only scores 12 points with Cohen's offense, and that is a cause for concern, Jaguar fans.
It should have held out to Mac Jones. Now, I mentioned Tua here. Then the Miami Dolphins, they collapsed completely against Carolina the week before. They needed a bounce-back win against the Chargers, and they had every single opportunity to win this game, and they did what Miami this season does best, lose. Tell me about this game, or what's your takeaway in general, Cris?
Bottom line is you got a team in Miami that just imploded, right? If you watch the game, they just imploded. They were doing so well. They were doing so well, and they just don't know how to win. They don't know how to close out games. And I know that Tua had 3 interceptions, but let's be real. The first interception in the first quarter was Waddle's fault. I feel like that's like borderline rigged. Second interception was 100% his fault. And of course, at the end of the game, you got Tua forcing the ball in the fourth.
Yeah.
You know what's worse about this? I know we'll talk about this a little bit too, is what Tua says afterwards, basically throwing everybody under the bus. I think that tells more of the story, because at the end of the day, your defense starts missing simple tackles. You start to allow big runs. And now, why does that happen? Because the game gets out of hand, because you don't know how to win, because you don't have continuity. So for me, Jonny, the Dolphins have a lot of questions to ask themselves. The real question, and I'll start with this, is when is this coach going to get fired? That's my take on Miami. From the moment Waddle had that fumble, I know it was obviously a close game for 3 quarters, but when he had that fumble, that interception for 2 in the first quarter, you knew this was going to be a crappy game.
Well, I knew it was just because of what we've seen from Miami. Miami is a completely flawed team. We knew coming in they had an uphill battle. I urged Miami, please, we talked about here in Florida Man Football, like, please, you need to trade Hill before the season. Trade him early on. They didn't, and now they get nothing for him. His career is probably over. They still owe some money, and it's kind of like you couldn't benefit from that. So you have a team who was struggling to begin with, and when they could have got some pieces there, they chose not to. They chose to ride it out and gamble, and it didn't pay off. And I don't see anything happening with Miami. Miami had every chance to win this week. They didn't. They had every chance to win the week before. They didn't. So against Carolina, against the Chargers, they had chances to win, and they faltered. That schedule gets much more difficult. They still got to play the Patriots again, the Bills again. They still have to go ahead and play some difficult teams moving forward.
Yeah.
They're not going to beat them. Miami, you're officially crossed off. As far as I'm concerned, Cris, you tell me if I'm wrong, you're crossed off for any playoff contention. As far as I'm concerned, we'll see what happens, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, next week, if Florida Man Football here, streaming on all major platforms. Next week, Jonny, I promise to bring the fans, and you and I will talk backstage here. But next week, it is time to talk about midway of the season as far as who's winning divisions and stuff like that. So we will talk about that next episode for sure. But right now, as of right now, we'll check some more tape. I'm going to side with you that I think Miami, we kind of got to stick a fork in them.
Or at least we have some semblance of good news here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers went ahead and handled their business in San Francisco against the Niners. Well, here in Tampa against the Niners. Good game. A lot of people doubted Tampa. They kept thinking it's fluke wins, and they came up and they showed exactly what they're about and what Baker's about. But what's your takeaway in this game?
I'm always saying the Florida Man Football here, from time to time, you'll hear your boy here say, Jonny, when are you going to give me my flowers? I know you've probably heard that for you avid watchers. I'm not even going to ask for it anymore. He's not going to give it to me. But one thing that I did say before the season started is, and I had questions with Bucky Irving. I said in the same chair and mic, I said, will Bucky Irving be an RB1? Can he stand a full season as a starter? The injuries, those things were a concern for me. I'm not happy that I was right about it. But one thing that I did add to that was that Rachaad White was an RB1, and you said he wasn't. The fact of the matter is this: Baker Mayfield is playing lights out. He's using the tools that he has in front of him. He's got the Johnson brothers, the rookies, scoring touchdowns this last game. But thanks to Rachaad White and thanks to Tucker for keeping that running game alive for the Bucs is really the story of this game. So again, I'm very happy that we kept Rachaad White. Again, kudos to Jason Light for knowing, and him and I having this brain. We talk to each other telepathically on Rachaad White. He held it down. He had think about it. The offense ran through him basically, especially after all the injuries that we had. Ibuka got hurt, of course, so more reason for Rashad White to get more playing time. And so, yeah, give the Bucs their due, give Mayfield his due. But at the end of the day, this team continues to find ways to win despite the injuries.
You're ridiculous. Like, I like how you take.
I'm tired of being right.
I like how you take me being 100% right and somehow turn it into me being wrong and you being right somehow here. So, I mean, regardless of what you do in the show, you need to go into politics, please.
Okay.
Because after the last season, I said moving into preseason and begin season that Bucky Irvin is going to be the RB1. He's going to be the RB1. Was me too. He said, no, he's not. He can't. You were right.
I said I was concerned about him being an RB1.
That he wasn't going to survive.
Right.
That he wasn't going to. So I'm like, okay, that's the same concern for every running back.
And that Rashad White is an RB1 and that he can't handle the wear and tear, and he's doing a good job of it.
He didn't prove that the last few years. So it's had the exact same situation where Rashad White would start the season. He couldn't finish the season. They get Bucky Irvin, and okay, he's his first year being the RB1, which I said he's going to be the RB1. He said, no, not yet. I said, no, he will. And you said, no, he's not going to finish the season. It's fine. We have two essentially RB1s who have not been able to finish the season. You put them together, what do you got? You got two RB1s, two RB1s that somehow haven't figure it out. You know, you mix in Tucker, sprinkle in Tucker there.
They're both, Johnny. They're both more than serviceable. They're both, I believe, could be starters in any team. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. Where Rashad White could be an RB1 in another team. Regardless of the fact, I'm just happy that we have them, and the Bucs keep chugging along, if you will.
The bigger concern, bro, is that the receiver room, the injury in the receiver room. Now Baker's finding a way to figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, luckily for the Bucs, they have a ridiculous receiver room, so they have about 75 receivers in that room. So there's still next man up mentality, and they're figuring it out. But it's still concerning with Ibuka, obviously with Godwin, with Evans. Do you think he's going to be back this
100%. And here, I do think he's going to be back this week, but I'm going to do you one better. We're 2 weeks away from a bye week. As a team that is hoping to contend and have a deep playoff run, it's the perfect time to have a bye week, if you ask me. So it's a good time to get healthy. And listen, I feel like after the bye week, Johnny Cinco, honestly, I think we're probably going to be at 95%. I think we're going to have everybody back. I think Evans will be back at that point. I think Ibuka won't be that serious. And I think Godwin will be back as well. I'm saying 95% because we still have some holes on defense. And that's the last thing I'll say before we move on to this coming week, Johnny Cinco. But if you really watch that game, I'm concerned the fact that we still allow on defense passing yards by the numbers. It's ridiculous. I mean, you could go out there with your left arm and throw 250 yards and you'd get it. That's the way I feel about it. Like, that's, if you watch the game, again, we play good defense at certain times. We'll get an interception here, right? We'll get a sack there. But for the most part, it's just a lot of first downs. It's kind of scary.
No, I see it the opposite way you see it there. I'm perfectly fine with it because their takeaways are in key moments in the game. That's where you want it. It's perfectly fine to go ahead and any coach will take a first quarter, interception or fumble or something else here.
Of course,
for you to go ahead and do it when it real game's in the line really matters.
Of course. I get that.
On the line. So I'm fine with it. If you're winning tough games, close games, then those are playoff games. That's how you win. There's rarely a blowout in the playoffs. It's always something. You have the testicular fortitude to win those close games, and the Bucs right now have shown that. And that's what concerns me a little differently is that, my main takeaway outside of the Florida team, I always try to look at everything as the NFL in general, is every single time we look at the power rankings, you look at certain things, and somebody rises to the creme de la creme, the cream of the top, they're up at the top. They lose. Everybody being losing, and I'm sorry, Cris, it's going to hurt you, but the best team in the NFL right now is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to sit here and tell me anything different. You can do everything. Everybody's been losing. The NFL is so strange. Bills are losing here. Ravens are just collapsing. The Bengals were supposed to do something. Burrow's out. It's a collapse. The Green Bay was supposed to go undefeated. They fell off. The Chiefs are a little bit interesting.
I think that goes back to why Florida Man Football's picks have been off for most of the part and in this season compared to the last couple of years. It's because, Johnny, at the end of the day, the gamble we talked about earlier, the gambling and all that's involved, it kind of makes it like this, right? But that's why I believe you're having that irregularity where it's basically every single week it's been something different. You've got some teams, the Falcons beating the Bills, right? Like some games like that, it just make you scratch your head, like what in the world's going on? So you're basically, what you're saying is because the Bucs are number one, now you're scared for us?
I am scared for them because at the end of the day, every time somebody's moved after week 2, whoever's moved up to the number 1 power ranking has lost. So it is my concern, but I'm not going to fall into the superstitious nonsense. I look at Is the NFL playing some games? I don't know. I can't play that. I can just call it. Even with the nonsense, I went 11-4 last week. So we have to go ahead and just continue to, move forward and hope that things kind of pan out the way they're supposed to pan out. So we shall see. Cris, so let's go ahead and start up our picks for this upcoming week here.
Let's lock in. Let's give them another 11 wins. Let's go.
Let's go with Thursday Night Football. We've started off here, Cris. The Steelers against the Bengals. Who you got this game?
I believe in what the Steelers are doing. We talked about this at the beginning of the year when we said Tomlin just finds ways to win. Rodgers is getting better game after game, in my opinion. He came prepared. He came for a playoff run at 4-1. It's prime time. A lot of people are calling this the Bengay Bowl because of the age of the quarterbacks, right?
Battle of the 40s.
But you know what? I'm gonna take all day the Steelers here to win on the road. Give me the Steelers to win. Start Thursday Night Football right.
That is the most logical pick I can think of. If somehow the Bengals win this game, it's like, it's okay. It's rigged. Okay. There's no reason for the Bengals to win this game.
No.
But we'll see how things kind of work out here, guys. The Los Angeles Rams are going to play the Jacksonville Jaguars, Cris. 9:30 a.m. Here's the London, England game here, Cris. Who you got here?
So this is I've got all my picks ready, Johnny. I've got them all at the hip ready to go. This is the one game, Florida Man football, that really I've gone back and forth with because the Rams have lost some close games. We just talked about the Jaguars and the offense.
Correct.
At the end of the day, they're both 4-2. You always talk about how the Jaguars do well when they're playing out there, right? You always talk about that.
They do.
And so this is probably, if I go undefeated and I miss one, this is the one that I'm going to miss. But you know what?
Say with confidence.
You know what?
Make your pick with confidence.
We have been really hard on the Jaguars lately. Give me the Jaguars to win, beat the Rams, find a way to win. Trevor Lawrence gets that offense running. I'm going against my gut this time, but I'm taking the Jaguars to win. Let's go.
Now, but I get it. Listen, you have to, the way that things are set up right now, the obvious pick, you're looking at the numbers, will be the Rams.
Right.
But there's always something different. And the Jacksonville Jaguars always play well overseas. They just do. Good selection on your part here, buddy. The New Orleans Saints, they're going to Soldier Field playing Chicago Bears, coming off a surprising victory Monday night. Who you got in this game?
If you thought that was a crazy pick, wait till you see what's next. So look, folks, the Saints, you guys have known Florida Man football. If you guys have heard me talk in the past, especially because they are in the Bucs division, how hard I am on them Saints.
Yeah.
But if you also look at the tail of the tape and you look at the stats and the numbers, they've been playing better football as of late, even though they're not winning necessarily. This is the upset of the alert that I have for the week, folks. So you can bank on this one for me. This is the Christian special. I'm taking the Saints to win.
Wow.
I'm taking the Saints to beat the Bears. This is the upset of the week that I've got. Give me the Saints to win on the road.
I mean, it's definitely an upset, but I'll give you credit because even the Jacksonville beating, the Rams is an upset, but I get it. That's a bigger upset there. The Miami Dolphins, they're traveling to Cleveland, playing the Cleveland Browns, Cris. 2 1-5 teams. Who's winning this game?
The coach getting fired bowl game, because after this game, one of these guys is getting fired. I mean, it has to happen.
I can see McDaniels. I don't think
it has to happen.
The Browns, I think they're used to losing.
I can't pronounce the coach's name of the Browns, but there's another idiot right there. And you know what? There's another idiot who wouldn't even name Shadir Sanders quarterback number 2.
So dumb.
Just people don't forget, and that's terrible. Let me take the Browns to win this game at home and finally stick a fork in Miami. I'm taking the Browns to win.
Okay. The New England Patriots, Cris, they're going against arguably one of the worst teams in football, in the Tennessee Titans. They're playing in Tennessee, though. And Tennessee, we both know they fired their coach. Surprising move.
Yes.
Bill Callahan, who makes great breaks. They fired him after hiring him last season. So sometimes we hire a new coach. They got
100%.
New
That's new spark.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Spark.
Oh yeah.
Who's
Absolutely.
won this game?
Absolutely. The only problem with that spark is that you got the lightning of the coach coming back to Tennessee and trying to show them a thing or two. Give me the Patriots to win. Don't overthink this one. That's another lock-in right here.
I try to bait you.
No, Patriots are winning, man. It's going to be, listen, those players are going to play their hearts out for them, so Patriots win.
The Las Vegas Raiders divisional game here are making that trip to Kansas City. Kansas City Raiders, Cris, we have an upset here?
No upset here. It's going to be pretty normal. And look, because not only did the Chiefs win last week, Jonny Cinco, but you've said in the past that you think that they're the team that's going to fall off. You've always given that example. I just don't see them losing this game to the Raiders. The Raiders are not a good team. They're not a good team on paper. They have just destroyed every expectation I had for them to start the season. And of course, last week they lost me a little money on Hard Rock. I'm not forgetting Lorenzo. Give me the Chiefs to win.
The Philadelphia Eagles, Chris, coming off 2 straight losses, going against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Who's winning this game?
Eagles. Don't overthink about it. At the end of the day, Eagles are going to win this game. It doesn't matter what happens to the quarterback situation. I know that you see the Vikings at 3-2, but you got to see the games that they played, the teams that they played. Give me the Eagles to win a close game.
Do we know if McCarthy's back this game?
It's questionable right now, and that's what I mean. To me, it doesn't really matter.
His ankle's not 100% there. I'm more comfortable with JJ than Wentz. Not that JJ's been playing like amazing. But I think in this particular game, the Minnesota has a real chance to win this game with JJ. But yeah, with Wentz. Now, regardless, you're going with
and let me tell you something about the Eagles too, guys. You know, they're the Super Bowl champions, right? At the end of the day, and they're well deserving of it. They're well coached. They got a great talented team there. Barkley's not playing up to what he's supposed to be. Brown is going to get more touches. Finally, it's going to happen where Brown has this like amazing breakout game. Don't be surprised if it happens this week. But again, the Eagles are winning.
See, next game coming up, of course, we have the Carolina Panthers and the worst team in the NFL, the New Jersey Jets. The Panthers surprising 3-3, but a lot of these games, I feel like almost at the NFL is angry at the success the Bucs have been doing. That no, we're not going to let you run away with the division, Tampa. We're going to go ahead and adjust some things and make sure that the Carolinas they're hanging around with you. Make sure Atlanta's hanging around with you, because if you watch those games, they got those calls. Carolina, I mean, hey, great final drive there. You can talk about the Dallas kind of just gave it away to them, but there's a lot of calls I didn't like that way. But right now, Carolina, do the Jets get their first win of the season, or are they continued trash?
Man, somebody has Fields on his fantasy team, and I got to commend the coach. He's like, it's a sinking ship, and he's willing to go with it, sticking with Fields at quarterback. I have to feel that Fields this time at home returns the favor, and I'm gonna go with the Jets. The Jets, Jets to get their first win, because at the end of the day, I hate Carolina.
Yeah.
And I've got Fields as my quarterback. But give me Jets at home.
Why can't you? I said from the beginning.
I know. I know.
Ohio State, go to Chicago. I'm like, Fields is not the guy. He's not. They had 80 yards of total offense last week, and they still could have won the game. And they still could have won. They choked because Justin Fields is not an NFL quarterback.
But Johnny Cinco, let me disagree with you completely. It's not because of that. Again, goes back to system. It's not just the quarterback. It's not it's the offense, the scheme, the plays, who's calling the plays, what you're doing. I'm sorry, but that has a lot to do with it. You play up to somebody. Right. You play up to somebody's abilities, right? And you put them in a position to be successful. That is your job as an offensive coordinator. And I would start there. But regardless, you asked me who's winning this game, and the Jets are winning.
We're going to argue the whole show about this year, but I just think that Justin Fields isn't the guy. I never thought he was, and he's been proving me right so far. The other trash team in New Jersey, the Jersey Giants, they're going up against the Denver Broncos. The Giants with an impressive victory. So are they bouncing back? Are the Broncos going to go ahead and upset them? I don't know. I'm trying to look at this game. They are playing in Denver right now. It's the Broncos at the Giants. Who's winning this game?
Listen, man, Jackson Dart is the truth. All right. And
kiss of death.
And with that being said, Broncos are winning at home. Don't overthink this game. No, the Broncos defense, got to give Coach Sean Payton all the credit there. Yeah. That defense is the truth. And you know what? I don't know that this game will be as close as people think it's going to be. It's -7.5. I think it's going to be more. I think that this is the game that the G-men get a little humble pie, but for sure the Broncos win.
Called the Indianapolis Colts, led by Indiana Jones, going against the Los Angeles Chargers. On the Colts, you can argue are a top team along with the Bucs. It's like Colts, Bucs, who's the best team in the NFL? Was so surprising here. They are playing in Cali, SoCal Stadium here, Chris. Who's won this game?
Yeah, this is for me. Yeah, it's okay. To me, this is like a very, let's call this a measuring stick game.
Okay.
And in other words, we're going to find out who the Colts really are. I really believe. The Chargers are a well-coached team at 4-2. They're a really good team. Herbert's got all the moxie. You saw last week's game. Yeah. He did his best Mayfield impression. I mean, and he's a hell of a quarterback. Give me the Chargers to win a close game only because they're home. I'm taking the Chargers to win this game.
I like it.
And you know what? If it's a close game, at 5-2, if the Colts lose, they should still feel pretty good about that.
I don't think Harbaugh ever faced the Colts when he coached the Niners. But remember, Harbaugh was a long-time quarterback. I remember him being the quarterback, Indianapolis Colts. Now he comes back and he gets to beat them as the coach against them with Chargers. They're a good call on that. Chargers win that game. The Washington Commanders choking and losing that Monday night game here. They go against the Dallas Cowboys divisional game, tough divisional game. Two teams who choked away victories the week before. I mean, Dallas can't afford to lose another game.
No.
Are they winning this game here? They're playing in Dallas. Who's winning this game?
This is my final upset of the week, folks. The Cowboys are going to win this game. The money line says -1.5 Washington. And I'm going to tell you something, Johnny. I'm going to tell you right now. I meant what I said in the beginning. This is Florida Man football. I don't waver. When I told you the Cowboys are making the playoffs, they're making the playoffs. They're going to win games like this. Give me the Cowboys to pull the upset and win. And I don't like to say I'm right or I told you so, but I mentioned it. The Commanders are 3-3. They'll have a losing record after this game.
All right, fair enough. Now, the Green Bay Packers, Cris, are facing the Arizona Cardinals. Not sure yet if Kyler Murray is going to be playing this particular game, but Packers 3-1-1. They're playing in Arizona. Who's winning this game?
This is a game where it shouldn't matter if Kyler Murray's playing or not. If you're, we need to find out who this Green Bay Packer team is. Are you going to drop games that you shouldn't be dropping, or are you going to be a team that's competing for a playoff spot? So give me the Green Bay Packers to win this game. 7 or more points is what I'm believing is going to happen here. I want them to win in quote-unquote poetic fashion and right this ship and be the Green Bay Packers that we expected them to be in the beginning of the season. Packers win this game.
There it is. The Atlanta Falcons coming off an impressive victory. Nobody expected against the Bills. They're facing the San Francisco 49ers. Who's won this game? They're playing in San Fran.
So typically, I guess the question before I go into my rant here is going to be, is Jones playing this week? Is Purdy back? Do we know anything about that?
We don't know, but expect Mac Jones to play.
Okay. So here's the deal. The Niners are 4-2. The Falcons beat the Bills. I want to believe that the Falcons, because I hate the Falcons, that they're not as good as the team that beat the Bills. I don't want to believe that's true. And now they're sitting here at 3-2.
It's the Falcons team, bro, has so much talent.
I know.
I think it's the wrong coach.
Yeah.
I think it's the wrong defensive scheme, the offensive scheme. There's so many different things there. They still find a way to win. If they went ahead and actually signed a great Bill Belichick, maybe they would be better than they are.
You
now.
always try to throw that in there.
But they're not. Yeah, because man's ruining his legacy in college. He should have freaking stayed in the NFL.
My hatred for the Atlanta Falcons will continue here. I'm going to take the Niners to win. I'm going to take the Niners to win at home.
Okay.
Money line says -2.5 San Francisco. And I'm just going to believe that because it happens in football with subpar teams like the Falcons where they win a crazy game against the Bills and they lay an egg the next week. So give me the 49ers to win this game.
So you have NFC South. You have the Falcons losing. You have the Carolina losing. You have the Saints winning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the final team in the NFC South. Game of the week, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are taking on one of the two games Monday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. Amazing game, really a litmus test on what exactly where each team is. They both had highs and lows in this particular season. Early in the season, 5-1 Buccaneers, 4-2 Lions. They are playing in Detroit. Who's won this game, Cris?
Florida Man Football, streaming on all major platforms. Do like, share, and subscribe. Cris, go eat go eat a bagel and sit this one out, because at the end of the day, if you think that I'm going to bet against my Tampa Bay Bucks at 5-1, even though we're traveling to Detroit, you're out of your mind. Okay. Look, at the end of the day, Baker freaking Mayfield is playing on a different level of football. He just is. Well, and let me tell you the level. When
they're hurt offensively,
listen, when you can elevate,
who's he going to throw to?
It's called the Jordan effect. When you can elevate, when you can elevate people by the way that you play. Tom Brady did that as well, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of level that he's playing at.
You want Super Bowls with white receivers?
We don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm going to tell you something. It's going to last this game, because one thing about Baker is that he holds grudges. He remembers the playoff loss to Detroit. Don't ever forget that. People don't forget, Cris. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to go out there. We're going to win this game. And I don't care if you and I show up to play wide receiver. People are going to get some yards. Touchdowns are going to happen. Let's go, Bucks. Bucks went on the road. Let's go.
This is going to be an outstanding game. I think, honestly, it's fine. We're going with the Bucks. Bucks are winning this game.
Yep.
I think it wouldn't be as close. Regardless of what happens, this game is going to be a close game. I think it wouldn't be that close at all if the Bucks or with Godwin healthy, with Evans healthy, with Ibuka healthy. We have those guys like healthy. Then no, I'm sorry. Even with St. Thomas, even with
I get you.
Laporta,
I get you, brother.
even
But
with
I get
everything
you.
else
I get you.
here,
I get you. But guess what? Guess what, brother? Guess what? Baker freaking Mayfield doesn't talk that talk. He doesn't care. He go, who we got? Bubblegum Doritos. I don't care. All right, they're playing. All right, let's go. Get on the field.
The key for the Bucks, Chris, yeah, same thing as always is do not turn the ball over. You keep it to one or less, you win this game. If you go ahead and, boop the bed and go ahead and have a type of game. The only game they lost this year, they had multiple turnovers.
Yeah.
We keep the turnovers to 0, single digit max. You are winning this game. Good call on Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this
And
game.
Detroit's -5.5. So when the Bucks win, let's go.
Final game of the week, Chris, 10 o'clock. Jesus, who's up at 10 o'clock to watch this game here? The Houston Texans are taking on the Seattle Seahawks. They are playing in Washington, Seattle, of course. That's why it's 10 o'clock. Who's won this game, Chris?
You got to go with the home team here. You got to go with the Seahawks. Again, seeing what we saw last week, seeing the Seahawks went ahead, they lost to the Bucks and they won this week. They're a very good team. They're very well coached. I liked the coach when they hired him a couple years ago, and I think that they're a team, Johnny, that are actually going to sniff the playoffs this year. So give me the Seahawks to win at home. At 2-3, the Texans are just reeling backwards.
Yeah, even though CJ is kind of getting his bearings, Sam Darnold is really playing at an elite level. Something to a lot of people didn't expect. I know he signed with Seattle, but he's playing very well.
He impressed me. He impressed me when he signed the contract to how he's playing.
So what I'm always looking for is poise and how these quarterbacks are looking when under pressure, and it's on point. So well done for Sam Darnold. Well done with Seattle. I think it's going to work out. I mean, at the end of the day, last week, we even whipped the nonsense the NFL tries to pull. Florida Man football still went 11-4. This week, I expect to do the same, if not better. So we're going to go ahead. I promised you guys last week that we will be double-digit in victories. I did not disappoint. This upcoming week, it'll be the same regard. We're going to be double-digit in victories. We're going to go and handle everything we need to handle, Chris.
Hey, Johnny Cinco, before we let people go here, I know that it is Thursday. Now it's 8:34 in the morning. And before we let you guys go, I know next week we're going to have the episode as far as, because we always want to get you guys ahead and get you started on what we got going on. We're going to have the episode as far as who's going to win the division and whatnot from a fantasy football perspective. Okay, just one last question before we close out the show. Let's say hypothetically, you haven't made a trade yet this year. And let's say hypothetically, you're 1-5 now. What do you do? I just want to know. What do you do? You're 1-5. You haven't made a trade.
I'm glad you brought it up. Fantasy was a closer show with the fantasy.
Yeah.
Just real quick, fantasy. Waiver wire wise, Gatson, for the Chargers is a really good pickup for you guys in terms of running backs with the injuries you have there. Christian Watson as well, coming back from injuries for Green Bay. Those are two main pickups you really need to think about picking up here. Just get those guys on your fantasy wires. If you are 1-5, if you're in 2-4. If you lose this, if you're 1-5 and you have to essentially win out to make the playoffs. If you're in a competitive league, you have to win out.
Yeah, so that was my question, right? Okay. So if you're 1-5 and you haven't made a trade, what's the problem?
You're a complete moron.
Okay.
It's these guys are
wanted you to say
the definition of insanity. No, I am going to go ahead and keep doing the same thing over and over again, but expect different results. Yes. You're a loser. Okay, that is what you are. Change your team name to loser because that's what people recognize you as. So, what are you doing? And if you have players that you've been holding on to in the IR for 6 weeks, you're a damn moron. It's like, it's done. I don't care what you think that guy is. It doesn't matter what it is. He's not helping. He's not doing anything. So you should have probably went ahead and made some changes. Now you're hoping he comes back. He does something here. Take the guy that you know. Take the sure thing, not the question mark. You don't have room for question marks when you are 1-5 or 2-4. You don't. You have to take the short thing. It's about probability. It's about what can I do to give myself the best chance to win. You're done. You're right there about an inch to go ahead and just being kicked off the cliff. And you're still holding it down, thinking that, nope, I'm just going to stay the course. That ship has sailed. What are you thinking? It's ridiculous that you think that you draft. I know some of you guys think you drafted amazing. If you're 1-5, you didn't draft amazing. You can blame the injuries.
You should have ripped the cord when you were 1-3. I mean, I started making trades, man. I don't know what you're doing.
That's the things that these guys, they sit there thinking, like, no, it's one thing, Cris, if you win a couple games, you're right there 1 under. But once you start seeing that, like, okay, multiple losses piling up, you have to make a move. Just forget it. Stop hoping for the best and make some moves. And the guys that did this is it, guys. If this upcoming week you 1-5 guys, even you 2-4 guys, if you're not making moves, you're done.
If you're one of those people that are telling yourself at 1-5, well, the injury bug got me. All my guys got injured. Guess what? You're the problem. Because if you got injuries, everyone gets injuries. Do something about it. So that message is for Christian and Quinn in our league. This bud's for you.
Yeah, it's understanding that trades need to happen and really being on top of the waiver wire. And you have some morons who are, you're 1-5. You can't pick up Blue from Dallas Cowboys, a guy who drafted a sleeper, didn't really work out. You have to try, and you drop Pacheco. You drop Pacheco to pick up Blue. Have you lost your mind? It's like, what are you thinking here? At the same time, the guys like the waiver wire and your trades, how are you going to run and have any chance of winning your fantasy football league if you're that deep in the hole? But you can always go ahead and just keep riding out with your same garbage team and hoping that, hey, this piece of trash can maybe take me to that next level. But that's change your name to Fantasy Land, because that's where you live in, bro.
Take it from the champion. I'm Christian. He's Jonny. We out, y'all.
Later, guys.